My name is Rebecca Mesa Vang. I'm 20 years old and I'm currently a junior, majoring in biology at the University of Akron. Throughout my life, I never really noticed that you could look at the world through a completely new lens, that is, through sociological glasses. Looking back on it, many of the things that I did, things that shaped me, could be interpreted sociologically, and it's quite mind-blowing. As I delve into the observations of my life and my identity using sociological imagination, I will be using terms and definitions from the brief edition textbook titled Sociology, Exploring the Architecture of Everyday Life, 4th edition, written by David M. Newman. So first and foremost, if you haven't noticed, I'm Asian American. This is already something that has to do with how I grew up to be the way I am today. To be exact, I'm Hmong, Thai, and Chinese. What I'm wearing in these pictures are Hmong clothes. The Hmong people don't have a country. They originated somewhere in China and migrated many places in Southeast Asia. My dad is Hmong and my mom is Thai and Chinese. They met in a refugee camp located in Thailand. I know, how romantic, right? The thing is, when my dad and most of his family made it to the United States, my mom almost didn't follow. She wanted to stay and work in Thailand, but later found she was pregnant with me. In order to give me a better life, she moved to America, got married to my dad, and we lived in poverty for the first half of my life. So culture is defined as the language, values, beliefs, and more that characterize society. I live in a mix of two cultures, the Hmong culture and the American culture. Before I attended preschool, I hardly spoke a word of English. Rather, I spoke a mixture of Hmong and Thai. I grew up with Christian values and beliefs, but with wariness of the Hmong culture and its weird superstitions. I attend a Hmong church where we share the same Christian values with Americans, except that we speak in the Hmong language. Our church is more Americanized today, but there are still some Hmong cultural values that we keep, such as paying dowry and having a Hmong wedding, in which the families of the groom and bride sit and the father of the bride hands her over to the groom's family. So as you can probably tell, my background is quite complicated. As a kid, I never really worried about it until I hit kindergarten. Everything was so different to me. I wasn't used to the institutionalized norms of school, since my parents also didn't know anything about what it was like to be in an American school. Institutionalized norms are patterns of behavior within existing social institutions that are widely accepted in society. I didn't know we were supposed to raise hands when we wanted to speak. I didn't know we couldn't just get up to use the restroom, and I certainly didn't know that homework was a thing, and boy did that get to me. I had to get used to all these new norms, and by doing so, school helped shape me to understand and follow societal norms. As I grew a little older, I began to develop hobbies. I loved playing piano, reading, and getting good grades. That probably seems a little stereotypical of an Asian child, but hey, I liked it, okay? I also developed a liking towards manga, which are Japanese comics. I have friends who were also into it, so we began attending conventions where people who had the interest would come together and cosplay and things like that. What I didn't know was that cosplaying is a part of a subculture. A subculture is the values, behaviors, and artifacts of a group that make its members distinguishable from the larger culture. Now that I'm kind of technically an adult, I must have some form of identity, having lived my life and experiencing what I have till now. Identity can be defined as the essential aspect of who we are, consisting of our sense of self, gender, race, religion, etc. Throughout my whole story, I pretty much identified myself as an Asian American Christian who is also a college student. There were things I was born with and things that helped shape me through experiences. This is known as nature versus nurture. The self is a unique set of traits, behaviors, and attitudes that distinguish me from everyone else. Through my experiences in life, I was able to develop myself. I have my own personality, my own likes and dislikes, my own achievements and habits. Yet, as I grew up, I was quite overly conscious about what people thought of me. The looking glass self is a sense of who we are that is defined by incorporating the reflected appraisals of others. I always looked for praise from my teachers or my peers. I never wanted to feel embarrassed or looked down on because it was just who I am. And when I did feel like I didn't fit in, or I did something I didn't see normal, I made sure to never ever do it again. In all though, I think I turned out pretty alright if I do say so myself. I built up who I am through the influence of society, and looking back on it now, from the different cultures to the development of my own identity, everything can be looked at sociologically. And through all my experiences, I learned many things, and through the course of sociology, my eyes were open as if they were closed before.